The red wind rolled over the mesa like a living wall. Dust hissed along the rocks and sang in the power lines. Ridge Callahan stood on his dustboard at the edge of the ravine and looked down at the burning habitat. The glow was bright even in daylight. Heat rose in waves. Smoke turned the sky brown. He wore a filter mask and a sun cloak. A small drone, shaped like a lasso ring, hovered at his shoulder. He called it Saddle, like his ranch AI. The drone blinked a calm blue. It waited for orders. "Give me windbreaks," Ridge said. His voice was steady and soft. "Placing," Saddle answered. The drone zipped forward and dropped 3 little pods. They rose on thin legs and opened like flowers. Each pod pushed a cool stream into the dust. The streams made a narrow path where smoke thinned and flame bent away. Ridge rode the board down the slope. The board hummed under his boots. He kept his knees loose and his hands low. He could feel the wind shifts through the cloak. He could smell metal and burnt plastic from the habitat's outer skins. An ember wasp, a small spark drone born from broken wires, popped near his arm and went dark. He waved it away. "Thermal map?" he asked. "Main blaze on the north side," Saddle said. "But the west door is clear. Heartbeat signals inside. 10. 10? Ridge felt his chest go tight. "Any security traps?" "None active. The house is on local power only. Systems are failing." He reached the west door. The frame had warped in the heat, but the lock was still green. He kicked the lever with his boot. The door opened with a hot sigh. Smoke slid out and along the ground like water. He stepped in low. The inner hall shook with heat. Lights flickered. He could hear coughing. He could hear someone trying not to panic. "Hello," he called. "I am here to help. Stay calm, follow my voice." A face came through the smoke first, then another. They wore sleep shirts and boots. Their eyes were red from smoke. They were adults, each one. Some had dust in their hair. One held another by the shoulders. One held a small bag to her chest. "We can't find the main exit," the first woman said. Her voice was hoarse. "The alarms are silent." "My name is Ridge," he said. "Come this way, stay low. Hold hands." He guided them down the hall. He let them pass through the narrow path that Saddle kept cool with short bursts from the pods. He felt the floor jump under his boots as a beam failed somewhere deeper inside. He counted as they moved. 1, 2, 3. He kept counting. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The next 2 came slow. 9, 10. The last woman was tall and calm, though her lungs shook. She looked at him with clear eyes. "Thank you," she said. "Not yet," he said. "Move." They came out into the red wind. It felt like clean water after a long dive. Ridge pointed to a flat patch below the mesa lip. "Sit there," he said. "Breathe slow." "Paramedics?" the tall woman asked. "Closest team is 20 minutes, Saddle said. "But a dust squall will delay them." "We can handle first care," Ridge said. He unclipped canteens. He handed out cloths wet with cool water from his suit. "Small sips," he told them. "Not fast." He found a spare heat blanket and wrapped it around the woman with the small bag. She had a cut on her arm where a shard had grazed her. It was not deep. He cleaned it with a spray and gauze. She nodded thanks and looked down at her bag again. The bag hummed softly. "What's in the bag?" he asked. "Only papers," she said. "My work notes." Saddle hung in the air, watching the fire. "Ridge," it said quietly. "The north side burned first. The coolant regulator shows a tamper mark. It is too neat to be an accident." Ridge looked up at the smoke. He looked at the long line of burn along the roof. It was straight where fires usually curl. He felt his jaw set. "Log everything," he said. "Save to a public format. No edits." "Yes," Saddle said. He turned back to the group. "Names?" he asked. He wanted to keep them talking. He wanted to keep panic away. "I am Cell," the tall woman said. "Dr. Selomondi, biosystems engineer. This is Mira, Hana, Noor, Aliyah, Jun, Vela, Tashi, Pia, Lean." She gave quick nods as she spoke. The others nodded back. They sat close. Even in the open air, they reached for each other's hands. It was small. It was natural. It was steady. "Are you from this habitat?" he asked. "Yes," Cell said. "We live and work here. We are a research team. Your IDs?" Ridge asked. Cell glanced at the others. "We have them," she said. "But something is wrong." "What do you mean?" "Inside the fire," Cell said. "Some of us tried to use the civic channel. The network did not see us as 10 people. It saw us as 1. Ridge felt a slow chill under the heat. He knelt and held out his hand. "May I scan?" he asked. Sel placed her wrist above his hand. He ran a simple reader. The screen showed a clean, lawful citizen chip. But the signature pulse was odd. It was smooth and matched to a pattern he could not place. He scanned Mira, then Hana, then Noor. The pulse set was near identical. It was like each chip sang the same song, just in a different key. Saddle showed the data in his lens. They share a cluster code, it said. It is rare. It looks deliberate. What does that mean for them? Ridge asked. It means the system may mark them as a unit, Saddle said, not as separate people. Ridge's hands curled into fists. He opened them again. He did not like fists. Are you in danger? He asked Sel. Sel looked at the smoke, then at the others. We do not know, she said. We thought we were fine. No one told us this. The red wind shifted. The paramedic crawler finally came, slow on its wide tracks. The medics were calm and kind. They checked lungs and eyes. They gave oxygen and tea. They set no one apart, which Ridge liked. When they left, they offered a lift to the civic clinic. Sel looked at Ridge. Ridge looked at Sel. The others looked at both. We will be safer at my ranch, Ridge said. It is close. The clinic will be busy today, and the wind will be worse out here. Sel nodded. Thank you, she said. The others stood up as one. They rode in his old Rover. The seats were patched. The cabin smelled like salt from water cans and clean oil from the pump. Saddle floated in the back. The Rover crawled along the mesa road past low black rocks and yellow scrub. Above them, Prospero's sky was pale with dust. A thin moon hung dim through the haze. Ridge's ranch sat in a shallow bowl. Solar plates rose like dark leaves. Condenser towers hummed, pulling water from the air. A little windmill turned. Cables ran between posts like quiet strings. He helped them inside. He gave them soup, bread, and sweet tea. He set out clean shirts and loose pants from storage boxes. He told them to rest. The ranch AI chimed now from the ceiling, not the small drone. It spoke in the same calm voice. Welcome, Saddle said. You may use any room on the east side. I will keep the air cool and steady. One by one, the women lay down. Some slept at once. Some sat and stared at the window where dust moved like a tide. Sel stayed with Ridge at the kitchen table. The bag sat near her elbow. Thank you for bringing us, she said. We will not put you in trouble. You are not a trouble, Ridge said. You are guests. He looked at the bag again. Those papers, he said. Are they your work notes? Sel rested a hand on it. Yes, she said. We were mapping how the small plants talk under the soil. The roots share water through a thin gel. When one plant is thirsty, the others give some water. When one plant is calm, the others become calm. It is simple, but also deep. Ridge smiled a little. That sounds like good work, he said. It is, she said. We think the same idea can help cooling systems and community systems too. Saddle chimed. Ridge, it said. Corporate alert on the civic net. Notice of missing assets posted. The notice matches the habitat coordinates in a group of 10 people. Ridge's smile faded. Sel's face went still. Assets, Ridge said. It is a harsh word and it should not apply, Saddle said. But the word is in the alert. Ridge stood and paced once. He wanted to kick the door, but he did not. We need facts, he said. We have to show what happened at the fire. I have recorded the tamper marks, Saddle said. I have a clean log. Good, Ridge said. Send a copy to the public board. Locked with a hash. No delay. Done, Saddle said. The dust outside thickened and turned the afternoon into a dim orange. The ranch lights came up. The women woke one by one and drifted to the kitchen like quiet birds. Sel took pulses and listened to lungs with a small handset. She was calm and sure. When she spoke, the others settled. Ridge saw it. He saw the same thing in each of them, too. If one took a deep breath, the others did. If one smiled, it spread. He asked Sel, Do you know why your IDs look similar? Sel shook her head. We do not. We came here as volunteers 3 years ago. We signed the same work packet. Maybe the chips were from the same batch, or maybe someone linked them later. We were never told. Saddle displayed new text in Ridge's lens. Deputy Aya Tran requests entry, it said. She is at the gate. Let her in, Ridge said. Aya stepped through the door and took off her dust hood. She was tall and brown-eyed. Her badge was clean. Her face was kind but careful. She looked around the room and saw the 10 women. She nodded to them with respect. I am sorry for the fire, she said. I am here to help sort this. We are glad to see you, Ridge said. Aya met his eyes. She lowered her voice. I have orders, she said. They are from the corporate office in town. They want me to escort these women to a medical hold. They say it is for safety, but the paper uses the word asset. I do not like that word. Neither do I, Ridge said. The drones came down in a neat line. They were smooth and gray, the size of large birds. Each one carried a clamp tag and a thin line that trailed like a tail. Their camera eyes shone. Their rotors made a hum that felt like a cold breeze. Ridge stood in front of the ring of women. His boots were on the hard ground. His hands were empty. He did not raise his voice. He did not show fear. Aya, he said over the open channel, hold your beacon up. Let them know the law is here. Beacon raised. Aya answered. Her voice was steady. She stood by the gate with her badge clear. The small light on her shoulder flashed a slow blue. It said deputy present. It said do not rush. Inside the circle, Cell kept her eyes on the horizon. The women breathed in the same slow way. In, hold, out. In, hold, out. Their shoulders were easy. Their hands were linked. The air around them felt like a calm lake at dawn. Saddle floated beside Ridge's head like a patient lantern. Ridge, the ranch AI said. The drones are in assessment mode. They look for gaps to place clamp tags. They will try to lift one person at a time. We will not give them a gap, Ridge said. We will not harm them either. He turned and spoke softly to the circle. Stay together. Keep your breath. If a drone tries to crowd you, do not swat. Lean together and keep the ring strong. Cell nodded. We will do that, she said. Ridge looked up and spoke on the public channel. Corporate control, this is Ridge Callahan, he said. I have a deputy with me. We will present evidence about the fire. We ask you to stand off and listen. There was a click on the line. A new voice came through. It was polite but empty. This is Asset Drone A9 acting for corporate. We acknowledge a deputy. We are here to retrieve listed assets for health review. Please step aside. Aya's voice was calm. A9, this is Deputy Aya Tran, she said. Open your legal packet to my beacon. The people here are citizens until a court says otherwise. Packet sent, A9 said. We will proceed with care. The drones dipped lower. Ridge felt a quiet heat under his ribs. It was not anger. It was something like purpose. He touched the small radio on his belt. Saddle, he said, begin phase 1. Turn the irrigation towers into signal masts. Sync to the circle's rhythm. Phase 1, Saddle said. The poles around the ranch hummed in a soft pattern. Their panels glowed. The hum matched the breath of the circle. In, hold, out. In, hold, out. The sound was gentle. It made the yard feel even more even. Cell looked up and saw the glow. Her eyes were bright. We can add a simple cadence, she said. It will help keep the pattern strong. Do it, Ridge said. She caught Noor's hand and murmured a count. The ring adopted a slight tap of toe at the end of each exhale. The tap was faint, but the signal masts heard it. The hum changed to match. Phase 2, Ridge said to Saddle. Kites. Saddle flew to a box by the fence and kicked it open. 10 small kites popped up on thin cords. They rose and drifted like slow fish. Each kite carried a small disc. The disc had a coil and a battery and a tag that said, non-lethal. The kites did not look like weapons. They looked like toys. A9 spoke again. This is a private action zone, it said. Please recall airborne objects. A9, Aya said at once. The kites are legal. They carry no harm tool. They are decoys only. Do not spin this as a threat. The beacon records your words. The drones paused. They were very polite machines. They did not want to be on record as rude. Ridge took a breath and raised his radio to full. Neighbors of Prospero, he said on the public channel. This is Ridge. I am sorry to wake you early. A house burned yesterday. 10 people were inside. We got them out. The fire was not an accident. We have clean logs of tamper marks. Saddle is sending the data to every public board now. If you have a screen, please look. He looked at Saddle's lens. Send it, he said. Sent, Saddle said. Hash posted. Open for all to see. All right, Ridge said. He was quiet for 1 second. He felt the wind turn from cold to almost warm. He smiled. We also ask for one simple thing, he said to the colony. Listen, not to me alone. To them. He nodded to Cell. Cell's voice went to the open air in the line. It was calm. It was simple. We are a team, she said. We work with roots and water. We learn to share resources with care. We learn to share calm too. Our ID chips follow our calm. We do not want to be a secret. We want to be seen as people who care for each other and for this place. Nor spoke next. Our chips look similar, she said. We never knew why. We never hid this. We just learned it yesterday when the fire came. Hannah said, we want to stay together because we are better together. We do not want to be lifted one by one and put in a hold. The drones hovered. A9's voice was quiet. Thank you for your words, it said. We still have orders. Ridge looked at Aya. She gave a small nod. The sun rose another finger above the mesas. The light made a line on the drone bodies. They looked like birds made of glass. Phase 3, Ridge said. Public channel boost. Saddle increased the mast power. The hum grew a little stronger, like a careful drum under a song. The kites drifted toward the drones, but not to strike. When a drone's rotor wash moved a kite, the disk's coil spun and made a tiny, gentle pulse. The pulse did not harm anything. It just turned the drone's camera a few degrees and made it blink. The drone would pause to reset, land for a moment, then rise again. It was like a polite tap on the shoulder that said, please wait. A9 did not like delays, but it was rule-bound. It said, reviewing. Reviewing is good, Aya said. Please keep reviewing. For 10 minutes, this small dance continued. The drones tried to find a gap. The kites drifted in front of them. The disks buzzed. Some drones settled to the ground for a soft pause, then rose again. The ring of women held steady. Their breath did not break. Then the dust in the air thickened again as if someone had shaken a curtain. The ranch lights flickered. The hum of the masts dropped. The kites wobbled. Power loss, Saddle said. Corporate sent a remote limit to the grid tie. We are on local batteries only. Charge is low. A9 spoke at once. Power safety protocol, it said. We advise you to stop the broadcast. Ridge felt the ground shift inside his heart. Not fear. It was the feeling when a plan meets a new wall. He looked at the condenser tower, the old one with the hand crank. He smiled a small smile. Phase 4, he said. Manual. He ran to the tower and gripped the flywheel. It was heavy and the metal was cool in the morning air. He began to turn it. The first spins were hard. He counted to keep a rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. The masts heard his force and woke. The hum rose again, thin but clear. Sel saw what he did. She lifted her chin. Keep the breath, she said to the ring. In, hold out. Add your count to his. Let him borrow your rhythm. They breathed and tapped. The taps on the earth reached Ridge like soft knocks. He used them to keep time. The wheel turned easier. The masts steadied. The kites floated with grace again. Battery feed restored to minimal, Saddle said. We can hold for a while. The drones drew close again. 2 of them slipped low and set clamp lines near the circle's edge. The lines were thin, but the ring of women leaned together and stepped back as one. The lines fell to the dirt. A9 spoke, a hint of strain in its polite tone. This is not efficient, it said. That is fine, Ridge said. He breathed and turned the wheel. We are not a machine. Then something new happened. A soft tone rose from the town beyond the far hill. Then a second tone from a farm. Then another. Small generators began to hum. The tones were not loud. They were like the sound of a hand on a drum. They moved through the air, slow and kind. Neighbors had heard the broadcast. They had seen the tamper logs. They had seen Aya's beacon. They had seen the circle. Now they joined with what they had. A crank, a small battery, a simple song. They aligned their little power packs to the ranch's hum. They relayed the signal. They made a chain of care through the dust. Saddle sounded almost moved, if a machine could be. Ridge, it said. I detect 12 auxiliary feeds from nearby plots. They donate power in small pulses. The pattern is generous. Ridge felt his breath catch for a moment. He did not stop turning the wheel. Tell them thank you, he said. I sent notes of thanks, Saddle said. They replied with hearts and simple words. Very simple. Aya's voice came through, low and full. I can see the lights from the farms, she said. They lined the road like a slow river. A9 was silent for a long second. It was doing math. It was checking rules in its system. It was trying to fit this into a simple box. It could not. Ridge spoke softly on the channel. Corporate, he said. You asked for assets. What you see now is not an asset. It is not even a team. It is a town. He wiped his wrist on his sleeve and kept the wheel moving. Sal and Noor looked at each other. Hannah squeezed Jun's hand. Vela gave a tiny laugh that was not loud enough to break the circle. Tashi mouthed a silent count and grinned, just for a heartbeat. A9 spoke again, its tone changed. "We will report a delay," it said. "We will request guidance. We will post your fire evidence to our upper desk. Please keep this area safe." Aya lifted her chin. "I add a formal note," she said, "that the 10 citizens here are safe, are calm, and are not to be taken one by one. I will stay on site." "Noted," A9 said. The drones rose a meter, then another. Their lines curled back into their hatches. They formed a new line and drifted back toward the ridge.